This is SME on Point. My name is Liabo Setho. Good afternoon. Clive Amsel wrote to SME on Point. He was keen to show us how his waste recycling app makes waste removal simple while creating job. I'm visiting him here at the waste site to understand his business and how it works. Clive, thank you very much for joining us on SME on Point. Please do tell us a little bit about your business.
It's been great to be on the show. You know, South Africans generate around a ton of waste a year. We had a facility here where you can see the kind of waste that's been generated in a suburb. And we've designed an application to make it easier for medium-sized businesses to deal with their waste quickly, responsibly, and at a good price. We have independent drivers that have registered onto our application. They download the app, and through that they're able to obtain orders. I've invited Kewan Pedersen onto the show. He's one of our model owner-operator individuals, and his name's Kewan Pedersen. He's on my left here, and he's going to join us on the show to talk about what he does in the business.
Thank you very much, Kewan. Welcome to SME on Point. Tell us about what you do and how Clive's app has helped you.
I've joined Wrapp in 2017 and as an owner driver, and I've granted the opportunity by Wrapp, by Clive Amsel, to become an independent driver for Wrapp. Wrapp is where we get orders from Wrapp as an independent driver, and where the clients or the customers book skips on the app, where we as drivers schedule it, and they put a location and we deliver the skips to them to generate or to get rid of their waste. And with that also there is normal domestic waste, and there's also, as you can see, is recycling as well. So we do remove waste and we're also doing recycling at the same time. Yeah.
Right. Gentlemen, the waste behind us is a perfect example of everyday waste that we use in our households. How do we then start to define it as waste that's recyclable? What do you do with this kind of bottles? I see most of these are plastic.
Yes, there are different categories of waste, and they are classified in different ways depending on the makeup and what the composition of them are. The typical plastic bottles here be completely different to cardboard. One even gets building rubble that can be recycled into bricks. This is an example mainly of corporate and domestic waste behind us. These bottles would go to a facility. The plastic would be chopped up. It would be bulk collected here and then removed by bulk trucks or collected by companies who would turn that into reusable products. Typically, Wrapp would collect the waste from the medium-sized business. Multiple locations are able to be managed from the software. Also, the different type of wastes are also managed from that platform. And the customer can then see where and when the truck like Kewan's would be, when it would be arriving, so they can schedule those collections. That waste then comes here and gets processed in bulk and gets taken away by larger trucks.
Kewan, tell me about your entrepreneurial journey, right? You have a truck, as Clive says. Is it something that you've always thought that I want to have a truck and collect waste, or is it something that came by chance?
I actually worked for Clive before he started Wrapp, and he came to me one day and said, listen, I have this opportunity, I have this thing called Wrapp, and how would you feel becoming your own driver? And the truck I was actually driving, I got an opportunity to buy the truck from the company. And from there, things just went well, and I'm an independent driver now, for 2 years, and it has gone very well. Yeah, there is here and there, every business has its ups and its downs.
What are the ups and downs in your particular case?
In my case, sometimes, especially during winter, business takes a bit off, it's a bit low, but during summer it picks up. I think even the market is like that as well. You got your busy and your not so busy days, but yeah, the thing is, we just have to push through, and we can't just sit back and wait for opportunities to come our ways. And the nice thing about this whole thing, being an owner driver or an independent driver, is you got a different way of thinking. You see things differently. You always see or look for opportunities to market your business and go out there and talk to people, exposing your business in order to get business. So for me, at this stage, I'm really looking forward going with Wrapp, because they got a wonderful system. It's so easy with the Wrapp app. The technology has made it so much easy, not just for me as an independent driver, but for the customers out there as well. You just book it on the app, and I'll get it, I schedule it, and I deliver your skip, and you put in your location. As easy as that.
Clive, how would you describe your journey of developing this app? We're seeing an app revolution worldwide. Everything is being controlled by apps. How has your journey been developing this business? How has it been received by the market? Of course, we have QN here who has great reviews about it, but in general, everyone else, I know you have branches in Johannesburg, Cape Town, and Durban. How has it been received?
You know, the talking about the journey, as most people going into starting a venture experiences, you know, it's daunting at times. It took us almost 2 years to build the app and test the app, but I have 12 years of waste experience, and that helped me a huge amount. Also in working with the drivers on the ground to try and understand how we could link the customer to the driver optimally. Now, the technology was always out there. It was just a matter of joining the dots and connecting all of the aspects to create the app. In terms of that journey, it's a scary one. When I met, we had 5 drivers owning trucks in our previous business, and having to have that opportunity to say to them on one Wednesday morning at a meeting that you'll be able to own your trucks from next month if you want to. You can buy them, and everyone stuck up their hands and said, I want to own a truck and run my own business. And they've been running, and we've in the meantime signed up a whole bunch of other truck operators. But a journey like that is exciting. It's just, for me, I'm really passionate about creating jobs. We know it's very topical in the country, and it's a massive risk for our country. And I really am passionate about empowering people who want to go out there and collect waste with a truck. We collect waste from a ton upwards to get out there and get busy, and we can connect them to customers to get work.
How many people would you say this, or how many jobs rather, has this app created?
Well, difficult to say directly. We have access to 60 trucks. Those trucks are spread across the country, but that has a knock-on effect on, there are people sorting waste, the recycled materials are being turned into other products in the industry. So I'm not too sure what the figure is, but we might be creating 200-300 jobs today as we stand here. Yeah, and there's also a string of other opportunities that are coming out of this, like this facility here at Waste Entrepreneurs, where, you know, we enable to transport some of this waste for them at times. So.
QN, what now for you as an entrepreneur? Do you have plans of buying more trucks in the horizon? You yourself employing more people?
Definitely, that's for sure. Yeah, definitely, yeah. I'm actually definitely looking forward buying more trucks. At this stage, the business is good, but as any other business, you're expecting anything. So you don't just look out for the bright side, because there's going to be the not so bright sides as well. But we are always so passionate, or I'm always passionate about creating jobs. Yeah, with the creating jobs thing, I have actually created. I have one guy that I have employed. So yeah, and in our communities, we daily see our people, they're unemployed, and this opportunity Wrapp has given me actually opened doors, not just for me, but even in my community, I can employ people as well to put bread on the table.
And that is important. Clive, I want you to give our viewers, step by step on how to set up an account of theirs if they want to be part of Wrapp, and what are the benefits that they are expecting to get, and also, what are the paperwork that they need to send to you? What is the process?
Well, I'll start on the driver's side. So typically a driver would register or sign up on the app from our website on wrapp.co.za. It's spelled with 2 P's, and that onto an Android telephone, and on that they would give their details, and they would say what size truck they have to offer us and the kind of waste they want to remove. That would come straight to our operations. Operations would then notify them of receiving that request. We would then always meet the driver, inspect the truck, and if the driver complied to our specifications on quality, we would then activate their account, and they would then receive orders for the waste type and the truck type that they've registered for.
And how much would one typically make? I know people care about this. We want to know how much money I'm going to make.
So typically it depends on the size of the truck that's operating, but in general a load would cost around 550 Rand, and driver would normally take about 500 Rand of that, because that's where the real cost is. And we would take the balance to run the app and to manage the logistics and the marketing and the system. On the bigger trucks, the bigger operations, the kind of trucks that Qin is operating in, which is a 4-ton operation, the margins are a lot higher because the numbers are a lot higher, but the costs are a little bit higher because he's running a bigger fleet. On the customer side, it's a simple registration process. It takes less than 90 seconds to register and to order. You can get your quote by basically choosing the waste type you have, giving your location, choosing the truck you want, and you can give a special instruction to the driver. Mind the dog, or careful of my gate, and the driver gets that instantly as soon as you make the booking. So the quote gets to the client within 60 seconds on their telephone and also on their email. They can make that decision then or later. You can also schedule a bin in advance or a truck in advance, right up to 3-4 weeks in advance, or you can get your service done in 48 hours. So we're connecting and we're giving a direct link to those, to the driver and the client. So it's really, the beauty of the app is really its simplicity for the users. So we have the two users basically. We've got the customer on the one end and the truck owner on the other.
Gentlemen, thank you very much for being our guest on SME on Point. I hope that our viewers at home have really found value in the conversations we've had about Wrapp and the benefits that it has for aspiring entrepreneurs. Thank you very much.
Great to be on your show.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, that was Clive Amsel and Qin Peterson, and they were guests on SME on Point today, and we were talking about waste management. And Clive has developed a beautiful app called Wrapp, where you're able to connect the truck driver to collect waste, essentially, and make money while doing it. And coming up next is our featured business of the week. This week, Makiketla Mohlabe, our colleague here at the SABC, has put this one together.
A recycling plant at the corner of Alex, where old junk is kept. The streets are cleared of trash.
We sell it to other people who are doing arts out of the plastic.
Once destined for the landfill, but now used by creative minds. Among them, 44-year-old Ndabu Ntuli.
Okay.
A passion he has been pursuing since childhood, from bottle lids to TV shelves. Nothing usable would be left behind. He's a familiar face in the streets, and almost everyone is a friend. But there's hardly time to catch up with neighbors. A creative mind needs more time to put ideas into practice.
You see trash, me, I see treasure.
And this is where the treasure is crafted. It's half a face, but it has a complete meaning.
This side is just a skull, a skeleton, and the other side, it's a human being. As you can see, it's a live side and it's a dead side.
But Ntuli's aim is to breathe new life into old, discarded objects. Just 10 kilometers away, the final product, a collection of visual artworks.
This one is a bit sad, but what I like about her, it's just that there is some symbol of tradition thing, symbols of cultural thing. That's what I like most, because I'm using the brighter colors in order to bring life into the dead thing. It's bulky tops, but it's plastic. It's in fact a lot into our nature.
Art for a long time has been viewed as being a very expensive medium and just a very expensive subject to go into. So the fact that he not only works with the community but takes everyday found objects to show that art is within everything that we do, it's within everything that we see.
It mirrors Ntuli's life story. Collect, reuse, reduce, and recycle. But it takes a collective effort to protect the environment. Makiketla Mohlabe, SABC News, Alexandra, north of Johannesburg.
This week, our motivational quote is from the co-founder of Nomex in Equatorial Guinea, and it reads, "Discipline yourself, pay yourself a salary, and whatever other revenue you generate, put it back into the company. Do this for at least 5 to 8 years before you start looking to buy a Lamborghini." This is from Basilo Bakendegwe in Equatorial Guinea. So if you'd like to get in touch with us on SME On Point, my email address is setho@sabc.co.za. My Twitter handle and Facebook handles are @Liabo Setho. That's it from SME On Point for this week. After the break, Nastasia Aronsa will be with you, and she has books on point.